Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं तदा मह्यं ददामीश्वरपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभावस्तुते देवी पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna, welcome all for today's evening discussion of this very important section, the second chapter. Second chapter as such very important, one of the longest chapters, because it is summarizing the Bhagavad Gita at the beginning itself. So far we discussed about Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means Krishna is talking about analyzing the differences between the soul and the body. And then last week we discussed the section of Bhagavad Gita known as the Sakama Karma Yoga, where the motivation for action is the desire to enjoy. We want something out of the work we are doing, the result should be to our satisfaction. Then only we feel motivated to do any work. But Krishna goes further in this section talking about Niskama Karma Yoga, which means even you don't get discouraged by the result. You're focusing on the work because you know that if you do your work perfectly, the result has to come. Okay? So instead of trying to focus on the result and in the process affecting your quality of work, better to focus on the work so that you get the desired result. Because anyhow, it has been designed that if you do this work perfectly, the person has designed this laptop perfectly, I know for sure it will give the desired output. So similarly, the world has been so perfectly designed that if you know how to do that work the best possible way, the result is assured, because you have to have faith that the person who has designed this work or this device is really perfect. So if you just focus on this work, then the result is bound to come. But instead, if you keep on focusing on the result and without giving your right input, level of input to the work, then both ways it will be affected. Either you will get the result and also the work will be affected. So therefore Krishna is trying to motivate Arjuna to do Niskama Karma Yoga. So what it is, we will see now. These 7 verses are there. We'll see how much we can cover. Each of them is very, very important. Can you change this? So please repeat this shloka after me. Esha te khabihita sankye. Esha te vihita sankye. Buddhi Yoga tvamimam shrinu. Buddhi Yoga tvamimam shrinu. Buddhya yukto yaya partah. Buddhya yukto yaya partah. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Esha te vihita sankye. Buddhi Yoga tvamimam shrinu. Buddhya yukto yaya partah. So in this verse, the word Buddhi Yoga is very important. Buddhi means using our intelligence. Karma Yoga means we are just focusing on the result, maybe without application of intelligence. Very much possible. So here Krishna says how to improve the quality of the work by using our intelligence, our best use of the intelligence. That's why it's a Buddhi Yoga. When you use it, it is known as yoga. When you don't use it, it is known as Yoga. Supposing this laptop is there, I have the choice of using it or not using it. God has given us the intelligence. He has given us the ability to do work. When you combine this intelligence with work, then it is known as Buddhi Yoga. So, thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Just like a child is there, you have to explain him every detail. Then only you can motivate him. So sometimes, if you want to get ourselves motivated, we have to sit and analyze things. Just like a doctor is trying to convince you about a diet or a line of treatment or a medicine or whatever. Immediately you resist. You don't want to accept it unless the person explains to you. But after you are sufficiently convinced, even without an explanation, you will just follow. Because after you have got convinced enough that I don't need to ask him any further explanation, I have full faith in him. So anyway, first Krishna has described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Because the basic problem has to be understood. The basic problem is when we don't understand the different natures of the body and the soul, matter and spirit. So that is known as the analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without results. Because in the earlier section, Krishna was trying to motivate Arjuna that you thought that if you fight this battle, it will cause you unhappiness. So then Krishna tried to explain to him that by fighting this war, either he will win and enjoy, or in case he dies also, he is going to heavenly planets. Either way, he is going to enjoy. And moreover, his fame will increase. On the contrary, if he didn't fight, people will talk bad about him and criticize him, and which is as good as death. So Krishna was trying to motivate Arjuna by assuring him some result. Now he says, in terms of working without fruitive results, even if you don't get the desired result, it is possible for many reasons. Sometimes you may do very good work, as you might have seen, people have done very good research or whatever. Some reasons the result doesn't come. So does it mean your work was wrong or should you give up that work? So this may be a question which may arise in our minds. So therefore Krishna says, explain in terms of working without fruitive results. As we will see at the end of the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna tells how the result comes. The result comes due to 5 factors. One is the body. Supposing I have a very good body, I can do some things which others cannot do. Likewise, it depends on the living entity, the soul who's in that body. It depends on the instruments or the senses in that provided in that body. And fourthly, it depends upon the way you do an action. And ultimately, it depends on the sanction of the Supreme Law. So like that, to get a particular result, you are not the only person. There are other 4 factors which are not within your control. Therefore, we cannot dictate the results. Sometimes the results may come as expected, sometimes they may not come. Nevertheless, if you are attached to the work, you are still going to get some benefit. Just like a soldier is there. If the soldier thinks that I will fight only if I can kill the enemy, only if my team, my country wins, only I will fight, then that's not a good motivation, because in the process of fighting, either he may lose his life or he may even lose the battle. So, but here, what is the benefit of doing without fruitful results? O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So the problem is not the result, the bondage to work. Bondage to work means if you decide to do works based on the result, supposing you say that I will do this action because I will get this particular result. There are 2 problems. One is you will not be able to do any other work, because according to you, if I do those other works, I will not get that particular result. So let me not do the other works. That's one thing. The second thing is, in case due to some reason you don't get the result while performing the work, then you lose your motivation. Supposing you're a doctor and some reason you're a very qualified doctor, but let us say patients are not coming, or even if they come, somehow they are not following what you say and therefore they are not recovering from the disease. So what would a normal person think? Okay, I should give up, because neither patients are coming nor people who are coming are not up to the standard and therefore they are not recovering. So that is not the way. You should continue to work with dedication. Definitely in course of time, the result is bound to come. That you can see from the life of many. So you free yourself from the bondage of work. Bondage of work means the work should not demotivate you. If you do the work without proper attitude, ultimately the work itself will become a problem for you. That's why we think that why did I end up here? I thought I will get this result, but I'm not at all getting that. So maybe this work is not meant for me. Let me give it up. That is known as bondage of work. So when the work is supposed to help you move forward, becomes an obstacle for you. Going to say something?
Yes. Krishna. So, like as you know, chapter 2 is the summary of all the other chapters, all the topics that are discussed in Bhagavad Gita. They are mentioned in summary in chapter 2. So far, what we have done is we have seen Sankhya and we have seen Karma Yoga. Now, how do you finish on Karma Yoga? That part is starting. So this part, it is very explained by the Acharyas that this section over here is not completely only the Buddhi Yoga is actually Buddhi Yoga. But this is not only Buddhi Yoga, this is Buddhi Yoga mixed with Karma Yoga. Later on, when Buddhi Yoga is mentioned in chapter 18 and later, earlier than that is pure Buddhi Yoga. But here, Buddhi Yoga is combination of Buddhi Yoga and Karma Yoga. And here, the new topic which is starting is how to do work without fruitful results. Typically, if we don't know the result, or it is the result which motivates us to do any work. If we think that I don't want the result, then I don't want to work at all. That is one side of the story. Another side of the story is we have been hearing that any work to do, it is binding. So, how to do any work which is not binding? Because we have to suffer the consequences of good karma as well as bad karma. So, good karma, how do we suffer the consequences? Because when we do good karma, we are going to get good results. And those good results will bind us. For 2 years, we do more good karma. We will do more good karma and then we get more good results. And then we become attached to the good results. And we also become proud. Let's see, my karma is so good. And we become attached to the opulence or the good tidings or the good fame and fame that we get with the good result. Because of which it becomes spontaneous. And nobody wants results of bad karma, whether we apologize and do it or whether we don't apologize to it, on those results. So, how do we work if we not get any result? That session is starting here. In some
So here, what is the success of an action? It depends on whom you are trying to please by that action. We do the same job. You work for some company, you get a higher salary. Although it's the job nature is similar. So because the person who is engaging in service is of a superior nature. Similarly, Buddhi Yoga means for whom should I work? Whether I should work only for myself, my family members, or my peers, or is it for some higher purpose? Like a soldier is there, is being given the weapons, and when he uses the weapons as directed by the government, he's getting a medal. The terrorist also using the same weapons, but he's using it for his own pleasure or to satisfy a few smaller community. But he is punished. Action is the same. The instruments are the same, but the intention is wrong. So likewise, this Buddhi Yoga means the success has to be judged by the person who has told you to do. According to me, whether the soldier shoots or doesn't shoot doesn't matter to me, because I'm not providing the salary to the soldier. Ultimately, salary is being provided by the government. The government has to judge whether he has done the right thing or not. So, Buddhi Yoga means this action which I'm doing it for whom? And how does that person expect me to do this work to his satisfaction? All this should be the criteria. So here Krishna is trying to motivate Arjuna that you fight this battle for my sake, because Krishna had a larger plan. He's trying to help everyone in the battlefield. Some had come with good intention, some with bad intention, but whatever it is, this battle was designed so that everyone will get win. Even Duryodhana went to heaven after fighting this battle. Although he fought for the wrong purpose, because it was the plan of the Lord, even Duryodhana, he went to heaven. So these are some points to be.
I don't know whether this was brought up here. The reason Arjun was not willing to fight, he gave reasons, they were showing detachment. But actually, what was his reason for not fighting? Before the war was announced and before the everything assembled, Arjun was already the best archer in the world, which means he would have fought early in practice. So he has fought early in practice, he has seen apparently he is capable of fighting. What was his purpose in fighting this battle? The people on the opposite side were his own family and friends. So he was attached to them and he was taking what of fighting them and what did he enjoy in that fighting. So his reason for not fighting was not attachment, it was actually attachment. Because of his attitude to his family and friends, he was thinking I should not fight. So this is what was coming on. That he was forgetting his pride duty. He wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and sister, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins and brothers. In both ways, the basic principles were of satisfaction.
So basically, whether we are working for the larger interest or the smaller interest, that's what determines success. One last point here is Just like when another point which comes is when you are working for the right person, the quality of your work also improves. Why people want to go and work abroad? Maybe salary wise, you can earn the same money here. But the quality of work is going to be much different. Your experience with the knowledge you gain, that also gives you some satisfaction. It's not just the result. Sometimes people are there who want to work. Even if the salary is not good, they think that the experience which they will gain through the job is much more valuable. So like this Buddhi Yoga means that it's not just the result which is motivating, but the work itself becomes a motivating force. Any questions, comments on this verse before we move to the next one? So basically this verse is talking about Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means how to perform an action intelligently. Where even just like we see sometimes the chess championship is going on. There have been instances where one person, like Garry Kasparov, he lost one match to Krishna. But then subsequently next 3 matches, games he only won. Which means he was intelligent that he could recover from that loss quickly. And in fact, there are many instances like that. Okay. So this another verse is also a very, very important verse. This section, each verse is a jewel. Neha Vikramana Shosti. Neha Vikramana Shosti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Swalpamalpasya dharmasya. Ayate mahato bhayat. Ayate mahato bhayat. Neha vikramana shosti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Ayate mahato bhayat. So this verse is emphasizing the importance of dharma. Last week we discussed in elaboration what is the meaning of dharma. Dharma means prescribed duty. Just like the dharma of this laptop is to function like a laptop. I can use it like a something else also, paperweight or something. But this mouse also I can use it for some other purpose. But the right use of this is as it is designed. Similarly, dharma means as each of us, each one has a unique dharma which nobody else can replace. That we have to very clearly understand because each one is made differently. That point is also mentioned that each of us are individuals. Something which I can do, you cannot do, and what you can do, I cannot. That is how this is designed. So that is how dharma, which only very. So what is the benefit of doing the dharma? Saying that in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. If you act according to your nature, according to your dharma, according to your duties, then there is no loss. Either you lose nothing or diminution, more or less the same. Either you don't completely lose out or partially also. So what is that? A little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So when this is applicable, supposing you are working for the government, you see mostly the government is running at a loss, like railways we take, for example, or refineries. There's a very big refinery in Chennai. But mostly it is running at a loss. But that doesn't mean the government closes that, saying that it's a loss. Because it's a very essential services. They have to maintain it even at a loss. And therefore, the employees also get paid. Normally, if you're working for a private company and it's making some loss, either you lose your job or you won't get your salary on time or no bonus. But because you're working for the right person, right, with the right purpose, then even if there seems to be the result doesn't come, you have nothing to lose. Just like the soldier is there, he is going in fighting, and if the country doesn't win also, he will still be get some his salary because he put the effort. So what is the most dangerous type of fear? When we lose our identity. That's known as identity crisis. when I am not able to do as my duty, that is the most dangerous situation. And therefore, Krishna says that it will protect you from the most dangerous type of fear. Another fear is death. We are always fearing death, or we are fearing the opposite situation. Supposing you are used to victory, the defeat is the greatest fear. If you are used to cold, then heat is the greatest fear. If you got accustomed to success, failure is the greatest fear. If you are accustomed to profit, loss is the greatest fear. So therefore, Krishna says, if you work without desire for fruitive results, the results will not be fearful to you. You will be fearless. And ultimately, death is also one of the greatest fear, because death means we think I will lose my body and that's the end of my life. I cannot do anything after I die. But as Krishna has explained, the difference between the soul and body, the soul continues to acquire more and more bodies. And those bodies, whatever he could not do now, he will definitely accomplish.
So here, there are two aspects to this shloka. One is that there is no loss of domination. And even if we take a little advancement, it is going to help us protect us from the most dangerous type of fear. So what is the difference? Right? We all are in IIT, we all are studying. You are starting with studies, whatever, whether you're doing postdoc, whatever you're doing, if you don't complete it, does it have any measurement? If you go outside and say that I was doing it, but I didn't complete it. It is also doing. But when we are on the spiritual path, even if we have made a little bit of progress, from say, suppose there are 100 steps time, we have tried only one step. That has worked in the next life also. So how do we explain this? Right? In this world, we have come up already. Suppose in the next world, whenever we are on next, we again have to start with the we don't remember last time I getting in the so doesn't matter. Now we directly go into postdoc. Doesn't work that way. We have to start again with the ABCD and we have to, whatever we have done in the past becomes zero. Whereas on the spiritual path, it does not become zero. Even the advancement that we have done, there is no loss of motivation in this path. Whatever we do will remain on the way. And even if we do a little bit, the biggest thing, see, most of us are having some of the other insecurity. We can have this insecurity that we need to be at your age. It is very important that you are accepted wherever you are, whether it's in college, whether it's in the campus, whether it's in your classroom, in your peer group, of your seniors, on your juniors. We have to be accepted. That is one insecurity. Another insecurity, financial. The need to be accepted can be called social insecurity. Financial insecurity will be anything explained. We have emotional insecurity, especially looking at the age group and what is the everybody so what does that mean? There is no emotional anchor. So we have an emotional insecurity, or even if you're in a relationship, sometimes we act along with insecurity. I'm in a relationship, what if I find this person? What if this person finds someone else? That what if is taken up minds all the time? If we are on this path, even if we make a little bit of advancement, the what if goes a lot. Because we know whatever happens, Krishna is very good. So that's why the more is the understand. Even in the worst situations where we can be alone, say for very big teacher, we just have to remember Krishna at that time. Immediately you will see yourself. I don't know if you have ever tried it, gone through those situations, and immediately there is a fearlessness. That does not convert into stupidity. That okay, I am first and fearless because I'm fearless because I'm going to Krishna. It will be foolishness. But that fear is not. What is the worst case scenario? I can be more than that. Comes later in because of the more problem. biggest fears that we have will go if we make even a small progress in this part. That is one of the reasons why there is no loss of the generation from this.
So one more thing here, Lord Krishna is concerned. He has everything. He has all the 6 opulences. Just like a person has set up a company. He is already a rich person. He doesn't need to set up the company. He has got the ultimate money. But let us say he has set up the company for the people, so that people get some money or engagement. So there he is not so going to be very strict with you, because he is not motivated. He doesn't depend on you. Rather, you depend on him. So it's more likely to be a secure environment for us to work. Even if we are doing mistakes, we can be assured that that person will not remove him from the job. He will give him more chances. So some assured income is there. So likewise in Krishna consciousness, because Krishna is God and is all fully satisfied and he has all the opulences, he is only making us do work for our benefit, so that we will get all the benefits are available to us. But somehow we are not like a sick. Supposing I'm sick and I bring you all the nutritious food or tasty food, I cannot eat it. So what the person will try to do? He'll try to help me to recover from the disease so that I can get the full benefit of the food which is offering. So likewise, God has everything to offer us. But unfortunately, we have some problems due to which we are not able to get the full benefit of. So he is trying to engage us in that kind of a work which will transform us so that we can get the best out of this life. Therefore, Krishna says there's no loss in the sense that any material activity starts. Supposing you're working for someone and you don't complete the job, most probably he will not pay you the salary or not the full what he promised. But supposing you're going through some training process, and even in the process, at least you made some attempt and it was not successful, you still be remunerated. So Krishna says that when you do this bhakti, because you are doing it as he told you to do, even if the result doesn't come out the way it's expected, still there's no loss. So there are many instances where people have dedicated life to devotion, and in that process they might have lost something material. But Krishna is assuring that I will yogakshemam vahamyaham. That is, I will provide what you lack and preserve what you have. If you do your devotion, even in the process of doing devotion, just like a person is working as a same thing example, is working for the army. And because he's working for the country, he may lose his life. Then the question may arise, what about his family members? So therefore, the government says, even if you were to lose the battle, lose your life in the process of fighting for the country, at least your family is assured some job or whatever it is. So that's what Krishna is able to assure Arjuna, that if you do this action as directed by me, first of all, the result anyway is assured. But even if you don't get the result also, you will be given another chance by which you can be successful. Any questions or comments?
Also addresses one of the doubts we may have. I want to complete my studies and my degree. What is the point of going to classes? If I go to these classes, then I have complete, not complete. So then better not to go. But even little bit to understand. And maybe you are not able to, maybe we are too old, maybe we die very soon. So what is the point of coming to these classes, getting into Krishna consciousness at this stage? You know, we should have done it earlier. When we are old, we like that. When we are young, we do that at old age. It's supposed to be a sannyas and one of us. No, why are we young now? These are all tricks of the mind. Help us postpone and not do what is required to be done. So here it is mentioned that if you are doing or if you are on this path and you are not able to perfect it, still there is a loss.
Basically, you will be given another chance. Supposing you will not be given a grade till you, supposing I'm giving an option that you can attempt this course any number of times, but fail grade will not be given. That would be much better, isn't it? So something like that, Krishna can assure that till you succeed, I will not give you a grade. I will not give a fail grade for sure. But till you succeed, at the moment you succeed, the result is awaiting. So that is kind of benefit in doing devotional service.
Another way to explain this is if you given an exam for a 100 short, obviously you fail. Next time you give exam is the particular goal, you have to start at 0 again. But in this spiritual world, very easy to do. Whatever it takes to you want to do. So in one sense, we don't ever fail. Other sense, whatever we have learned points, that doesn't go away. That remains.
Another simple example, when you write the joint entrance exam or something like that. Previously, the subject was so tough, the highest mark would have been 30 or 40, just assume. But still, you get a top rank. Because related to others, you have performed better. So something like that is devotion is like that. Now this next verse is another important verse. It says why we have to work like this. If you don't work like this, what is the problem? And if you work like this, what's the motivation for working this way? Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Ekeha Purnandana. Bahushaka Yantascha. Bahushaka Yantascha. Buddhayo Vyavasayinam. Buddhayo Vyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Ekeha Purnandana. Bahushaka Yantascha. Buddhayo Vyavasayinam. See, in this verse, the word, which word is repeating many times? Vyavasaya. Vyavasaya. Vyavasaya means, you will see that fixed. It's a very important word here, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So, resolution. You should be resolute instead of trying jack of all trades and master of none. This is a famous statement. Instead of attempting two new problems, supposing that they give some, you attempt the questions for which you know the answer first. Then when you get your confidence, then you can attempt the other questions which are challenging. So similarly, Krishna is saying that you be resolved in Krishna consciousness, whereby gradually even if you are not perfect in other activities, because Krishna consciousness is natural to us. Whereas activities which are not done in Krishna consciousness are not natural. So we are most likely to not succeed in those activities. But if you do this, you are resulted in Krishna consciousness, then you will achieve the goal. But if you are not resolute, your attention becomes diverted. Just like a tree is there, instead of trying to put water to all the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits, you put water to the root. Then that's the best way to supply nourishment to all the parts of the body. Similarly, I can try to send food to my body, to the nose, eyes, ears, or whatever pulls are in the body, maybe intravenous, everything. But the best way to supply nourishment to the food is, where should I feed it? This stomach. Once somehow this food reaches the stomach, that's the best way to supply nourishment to the entire body. So similarly, if we are engaged in Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness, we should be first of all conscious about ourselves, to know who am I, what is this mental nature. Then we are bound to attain those who are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. If your aim is one, like you are playing a football game, obviously your goalpost is fixed. You cannot keep on changing the goalpost. Because for your sake, they will not change the goal or the rules of the game. So their aim is one, beloved child of those. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branches. So if you don't apply your intelligence in one particular path, naturally your intelligence becomes diverted. Supposing I give you 100 rupees and you have a choice to buy many things. And the most valuable thing is exactly 100 rupees. So what you will do normally, I have only 100 rupees and the most valuable thing is 100 rupees. So instead of trying to spend it on too many other things, let me just invest on one thing. So that's what Krishna is trying to say.
The word Vyavasayatmika is what? I know you can't think of Hindi, that is what I'm asking. Vyavasayatmika is what? Business. Business. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi means what? The resilientness of a businessman. What is the resilientness of a businessman mean? That he may be doing when he is a businessman, he's like his own business. What does he do? It's not that he's always doing business. Sometimes he's talking to the neighbor, sometimes he's talking to the virtual shop, sometimes he's giving some free and we do some kid who has come to the shop with his mom for shopping. Mom is doing a buying something and he's doing. His purpose is not to make friends with that kid. He's got a very distinct purpose. I need to make profit. For that, I need sales. For that, I need this customer to come back to my shop. So, with that, whatever we may be doing, sometimes we may be in a club, sometimes we may be doing some, samaj seva, some kind of a society, social service. Whatever he is doing, what is his ultimate purpose? If he is doing it in the manner of this business, what is his ultimate purpose? That I need more business so that I can make more profit. That same way, then with the example of you are here to study, to get your degree. Now sometimes you may be running errands for your guides. Yes, and sometimes a guide is saying, I have to go to my house. Or something like, tuitions, my child needs tuition, maths, my child maths. Or I don't know what I'm just saying as an example. You may be doing a lot of other things. What is your purpose? This is not a fixed right. Your purpose is to be the right happy. And why are you happy? So that you can get out of the right practice as soon as possible. And then, so that you get your degree and you can get out of that situation. When you are here, your degree, whatever you do, the purpose is to get the fastest and to lead this. The same way, if we see the institute from the point of view of the institute, now recently they have introduced a lot of Buddhi programs, a lot of wellness programs. The purpose, of course, is that the students are, very in mind body and emotions every way. But what is the ultimate purpose? That the institute should not be a government. The good name, the good ranking of the institute to me. Why should that be a purpose? So that more new students come here. So, a lot of friendships we may be doing with one resolute purpose. That same way, those who are resolute on their path, their aim is one. The intelligence of those who are resolute. That's what they do. I have classes, I must attend. There's a football match, I must attend. Either as a player, or as a cheerleader, or there is whatever. Such I must attend. There is a I have to basically do everything. Because I am ready. Then what happens? The basic purpose is lost. Now, how does it convert to the conclusion of whatever I see, you have to enjoy it. It's better not to attend this session. So why am I coming here? The purpose is not to make your benefit. The purpose is to make you understand that if the base is strong, the monument or the foundation is strong, whatever you build on that will be strong. You will be sure of your convictions. We are trying to get that base. We are trying to get so that whatever monument could be whatever you may have. What everybody wants basic financial security. Everybody wants a decent job, a decent life. And of course, whatever maybe some people, whatever maybe somebody wants a He wants to know the devotion. Whatever you want to do, you are able to do. But if your foundation is strong, if your foundation is Bhagavad Gita, you cannot go wrong. That is the purpose of idea of it. By you knowing, you need to know your purpose. And once you have defined your purpose, that all these millions of friends were doing, I have to run a test for my life, and nothing else. That's why I come for your class. Those things will go away. Once you understand the importance of what you are doing, why you are doing, you have to bear it in mind. Then we can also make out that who is irresolute, and it is your choice. If you choose to be irresolute, what will happen? And if you choose to be resolute, what will happen?
So here the word Vyavasaya on agricultural issues also on Vyavasaya. So what is doing the agriculture or in the livelihood depends on the field. He doesn't have money. He has to depend on the land for his living and for whatever. So he doesn't try to do other things. He just focuses on agriculture because he knows that this is what he should be doing and this is at least guarantees some result. So Vyavasayatmika intelligence means you should know where to apply my intelligence. That is known as Vyavasaya. But instead, if you misuse your intelligence, then actually you will get many options. Sometimes you see some person is not getting a job. Then what he will do, for some time he'll try. Then he'll say, maybe I should do this job. No, after some time, no, my friend told me that's a better job, let me do that. So like that he keeps going around because he has missed the point that he cannot succeed everywhere. He should stick to one thing. Once he succeeds, maybe then your leg is firmly fixed in one thing, then you can think about the next step. So this was some. So here another important point is said that the basis for everything is faith. Because faith is the foundation for everything. So if you put your faith in something which is going to reach you the highest, then that is the right use of intelligence. If you put your faith in something which is not going to get you a long-term benefit, then that is misplaced faith. Because without faith, we cannot exist in this world. Every step, whatever we are doing is an act of faith, they call it. Supposing you're putting money in the bank, it's an act of faith that my money is secure and I will get back the higher interest. So, but the point is, where do we put our faith? For that, you should know which is the most intelligent to do. Where if I put my faith there, everything is secure. So Krishna says, you put your faith in me, because everyone else can fail, but God never fails. So that is the. So if we do action, that is devotion, as guided by the Lord, we are assured of success. That's what we see the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanudana, Yatra Shri Buddhi Yoga Matir Bhava. So what is the secret of success is being explained, that you put your faith and your intelligence and refuge in that which is going to get you the ultimate benefit. Because one more advantage is when you put your faith in this process, there's someone to help you. If you're following something, you also need guidance. Even if you put you in the best process, unless there's someone going to help you from time to time, you may not be able to get the full benefit of it. So in this path of Krishna consciousness, we can see that there is God person and his devotees and scriptures there to personally guide us. So when we ask, what about my other obligations? If I do this only, will they? The same example which I gave you, we have so many obligations. We have family members, obligation to society, obligation to the demigods, obligation to the sages. So from the time we are born, we have so many obligations. Whether you fulfill or not, they will keep binding us. Without your knowledge, someone person is coming, giving you a problem. You think, why this fellow is giving me a problem when I don't have any relation with him? But the fact is that some obligation is there from the previous life. So, but then when we take to this devotion, we become absolved from all those obligations. Okay. So here the important point is this has to be practice under guidance. So we need perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the concept, the first knowledge, not theoretically but practically. So if anything is there, the real benefit comes when you practice it. So these two verses. Yamimam. So, okay, I want to fix my intelligence in one thing, but I get so many distractions. It's a common problem we face. Because someone is saying this is the best thing to do. So like this, we get many options when we want to fix our intelligence. One thing. Yamima pushpitamba cham pravadanti avapashchitah vedavada anyat asti vadinah Kamatmanasvargavara Janma karma pradam Kriya vishesha pulam Bhogeshwarya katin prati So here important word is Pushpitam Vacha. Pushpitam means flowery words. There are so many advertisements. People advertising so many things. But let us say you have only a certain amount of money. Each one is advertising, you buy this, you buy this. Obviously, you cannot buy everything. So therefore, pravadanti avipashchita. There are some people who prescribe that you do many things. It's not one thing, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? So, but Vedavadarata. So, how do they justify that you should do all these things? They also quote some scriptures. They will say it is written in this book. It is given in this manual. It is given in this website that you should do this, you should do that, that particular doctor. So this way become distracted by many scriptures, by following many scriptures, many people, many opinions, public opinions. We get or many guides. Supposing you have one guide and you thought you'll become more intelligent by taking more guides. They will do many opinions and they'll get confuse you. So what should you do? So why you get motivated by these other things? Kamatmana. Each one is giving this result. If you do this, you will get this benefit. Another seller is saying, oh, no, I have another benefit for you, do this. So if you have so many desires, then naturally you will go in all those directions. But if you are focused, no, these are not good for me, although they are assuring me something, I know it is harmful to me. Better I don't go in those directions. I be focused. I will lose this also. Whatever I have also will go. Kamatmana swargapara janma karma phalapradam priya vishesha bhogeshwarya gatim. So what is the weakness in me? Why I get distracted by so many things? Bhogeshwarya. Bhogeshwarya means you are wanting to enjoy everything. Supposing a lot of you go to the restaurant or you go to the sweet shop and you feel like eating everything, buying everything. Obviously, you will never be happy, and the contrary, you will suffer because you are investing in everywhere and trying to enjoy everything. It's not going to happen. So that's what Krishna says. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various future activities for elevation to heavenly planets. So some people say, okay, you go to this country, you will be most happy. That country, that like that. So results, good birth, power, and so forth. We desire sense gratification and opulent life. They say that there is nothing more than this. So each one is saying this is the best. Then how do you make a choice? Supposing a multiple choice question is there. Everything choice seems to be the answer, right answer. But there is some catch in that. If you miss that, then you are trapped. Yeah.
So, until I read Bhagavad Gita for the first time, I used to think the ultimate is go to heaven. Like we also say, "Na wo swasi ho gaye, swarg aisa sukh mila." So I used to think heaven is the ultimate. And when I read this yoga, I was confused because when I was one information are very much attached to the flowery words of Vedas. What is the flowery words of the Vedas? None of us can get to Vedas. So, what is the flowery word of Vedas? And it is said that Vedas is the manual for how to live life. Then how can there be flowery words of Vedas? That is explained here. Which recommend various focused activities for elevation to heavenly planets. So then that is not the ultimate. Elevation to heavenly planets and resulting good word, power, and so forth. Now, what is the resulting good word that we can see? Suddenly, I'm sure we all have come across examples of people who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some people who seem to be having all the facilities right from birth. You know, like say, Rahul Gandhi, when he was born, he had a what he did about his, or say, businessman son, or take a very opulent family. They think their children are still, what would not. That is because it's the past of that probably language of the Vedas will give you here, it will give you good birth, power, it will give you elevation to heavenly planets. All this is what? Self-gratification. When we get all this, we will enjoy. And when we enjoy what happens, we get sense gratification. And opulent life. Everybody likes riches. Nobody wants to grow with this. Opulent life, that is why we don't further because we want an opulent life. There is nothing, and the Vedas are saying there is nothing more than this. That means there is something more than this. Because if this is a lovely language, there is something which is not a lovely language, which is more than opulent life, more than birth, elevation to heavenly planets. What is that? So this is to show us what daily life ideas that going to heaven is not the ultimate. Like even if you see what the Muslims say, they don't have a term game of gender. If you translate gender, what is heaven? Here it is being said that is lovely and that is being said here. But the implication is that is not the ultimate. So what is the ultimate?
Because to assure your happiness, I should be happy. Unless I have some money, how can I assure you that I give you the money? So whoever is making these promises that you will be happy this way, that way, they themselves don't have it. So this has to be understood. This also, each verse is a jewel. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam. Aya pakrita chetasam. Aya pakrita chetasam. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Madhuna vidiyate. Madhuna vidiyate. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam. Vrita chetasam. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Madhuna vidiyate. So earlier it was explained why we need a fixed intelligence, resolute determination. Now what is preventing us from being resolute or having fixed intelligence is being explained here. Bhogeshwarya prasaktana. Bhogeshwarya means plan to enjoy everything. You have limited. Supposing your stomach size is so much. There's a capacity that the stomach can digest only this much or this kind of food. But if you try beyond that capacity or beyond what it can enjoy, then that is the problem. Yogeshwarya prasaktanam is material enjoyment and opulence.
To give an example of what he is saying, someone has a limited capacity. Suppose you go to a restaurant, has a menu card. If you want to order everything in your menu, you have. That is when you are in this video, for everything. So there is a limited capacity for work also. And if you don't have any visibility, you know, enjoy with the rest of the cities. And typically what happens when you go for marriages, sadly the entire thing will not get better. And sometimes it is just
Like you have a buffet meal, they're also intelligent. They know that person will not eat on that. So just to attract you, there are so many items. So the resolute determination for devotional service. Devotional service, where should I invest my service, which will give the greatest gain? Why we are to do devotion? Some question may arise. What is the greatness of bhakti? The bhakti is the person who is doing the result of bhakti is the greatest person. So instead, if you choose, get distracted. Supposing you are boarded a train and that train is going up to Delhi, and you have some business, you're going to Delhi with some purpose. But on the way, you see in some station something is attracting you. What a foolish person will do, immediately get down there and forget about this ticket to Delhi. So something like there was a movie previously, Bombay to Goa. In that movie, they're showing that on the way, how many distractions happen, how many other things, purposes to go there, Goa. But on the way, so many things, events happen, which seem to be more important. So here the word is samadho. Samadhi means fixed mind. Unless your mind is fixed on something, you cannot reach there. So this, if you want to achieve the highest in life, your mind should be in a state of samadhi, which means one-pointed intelligence. Just like this famous story is there, when the Kauravas and Pandavas went to Dronacharya to learn archery. So Dronacharya called each of his disciples and to ask them, what do you see on the tree? There's a tree, on the tree there's a bird, and you are supposed to hit the eye of that bird. Some person saw only the tree. Some person could figure out that there's a bird on the tree. And finally Arjuna could see only the eye of the bird, nothing else he could see. In fact, Dronacharya wanted to clarify from Arjuna, do you see anything else? No, I only see the eye of the bird. Then he said, you release your heart. So like that, samadho means fixed mind. So, so what is the highest use of our intelligence? To know about ourselves. If you know about ourselves, you can conquer the world. There's a famous statement. So we can know ourselves only when we know what is our relationship with others. Then only, supposing we have to fix the coordinates. Supposing I have to fix the coordinate of this, first of all, I have to define the origin. Then only I can fix the coordinates of all the other points. So like that, first, unless I fix my relationship with God, I cannot understand what is my relationship with other living entities and the material world. So, anything else?
So in this shloka, we see that word Vyavasayatmika again. So what is the link between these shlokas? In the first shloka, it is the topic of Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is introduced that one has to be resolute purpose. And there are very many ways in which one can become irresolute. And what for a irresolute person, he will achieve nothing. The next shloka talks about the flowery language of the Vedas. Then the first shloka is talking about for the people who are resolute, what happens. So the flowery language of the Vedas is talking about distractions. What can happen? What can possibly distract us from our resoluteness? And from there we land in Jannah. We landed in heaven. Even in Christianity, I don't think there is a word higher than heaven. That is the highest quality. In us, we know Swarga, but there is something beyond Swarga. And in this yoga, it is again also Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Samadhana Buddhi. So those flowery language of Vedas, even if we are very religious, we are doing whatever dharma is expected of us, that is also not religion. I mean, that is also not the ultimate purpose. By being religious, we can land in Swarga, heaven. But if you want the ultimate purpose of life, that is devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Because the translation here is, in the minds of those who are true or the previous shloka. And when we are also again the previous shloka. And who are bewildered for such things. The residue of determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. The determination for devotional service is unglamorous. It is not something which you can wear as a badge, especially in a campus like this. It is not kind of glamour. It is not something that people will or your peers appreciate because they don't know about it. It's not that fun. It is the intelligence of the person to understand that there is something which is beyond what we have so far known as happiness, which is beyond Swarga, beyond Chandra, beyond heaven. And that is devotional service. And this is not something that we are saying. This is something which scripture is, which Krishna is himself telling to Arjuna. From there we know this is clear.
So here the word devotion means dovetailing. Dovetailing means how to use the best. What is the best way of supposing the laptop is there? There's the best way of using this thing. So devotion means what is the best way of using our life? That is, you serve the person who has provided you everything, then that is known as devotional service. So now this last two verses we will stop there. Now the question may arise, why there are so many options? That is being explained here. Someone may ask, why God has to give so many options? He could have laid it out straight for me. Why you are giving me so many options so that people will do mistakes? Why can't he create a world where everyone will be told to do exactly this and we will all follow that? Why should you give us so many options? Supposing you go to the mess and they are providing all types of food. Then you may say, why you are giving so many food and confusing us? Just give us one menu. Let everyone, it's easy for you also and for us also to make the choice. So something like that may come across in the scriptures. Why it has to do so many directions? Maybe all are correct. Why can't I follow all of them? So it is being explained here that no, although there are many choices, you have to make a very specific choice. Just because I give you many choices doesn't mean you choose everything. You have to use your intelligence. Supposing you go to the footwear shop, there are so many shoes are there, but you have to choose the one which is more suited for you. Like go to the medical shop, so many medicines are there, all are medicines only. But you have to choose the medicine which is relevant to you. So how do we make these choices? And why there's so much variety has been provided? Traigunya Vishaya Vedam. Traigunya Vishaya Vedam. Istraigunya Bhavarjuna. Istraigunya Bhavarjuna. Yadvando Nitya Sattvasto. Yadvando Nitya Sattvasto. Nivyoga Kema Atmavan. Nivyoga Kema Atmavan. So here important word is Traigunya Vishaya Vedam. Traigunya Bhavarjuna. Yadvando Nitya Sattvasto. Yogam Kema Atmavan. So here it says Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Vishaya means objective. Vedas are giving many objectives according to the three qualities. Supposing you have this quality, you choose this. So like that, there are broadly three types of qualities. According to that, they are prescribed three different Vishaya. Vishaya means objectives. Supposing you are choosing chemical engineering, the objective is different from those who are choosing mechanical engineering. It's very clearly defined. Next word is Buddhi Yoga. Just like so many medicines are prescribed. Is it meant to eat all the medicines? The objective is to become free from the disease. What will cure you from your disease? That you take and get rid of this. So the objective is Buddhi Yoga. Although the medicines, the Vedas are prescribing according to the three gunas, the ultimate objective is to rise beyond the three gunas. That is what will make us happy. Nitya Sattvastu. Sattvastu means unending happiness. Just like a person who is diseased, he has to go to the medical shop. But why he has to go to the medical shop? Because currently he is suffering. But let us say his disease gets cured. Does he still have to go to the medical shop? No. Because why that medicine was prescribed is till the time he is suffering from the disease, he has to go there. But once the objective is to first of all get him out of the disease, and after he gets out of the disease, no longer has to depend on those medicines. So Dvandva. What is the biggest disease? Dvandva. Dvandva means duality. So Krishna is saying these three gunas, they create duality. So therefore you become Nirdvandva means go beyond these three gunas. Just like if your aircraft is on the ground, it has to follow the rules of the ground. But once it goes in the air, it no longer has to follow the rules of the ground. So as long as we are conditioned by the three modes, we have to decide on the basis of good, bad, profit, loss, happiness, distress, cold, heat, fame, infamy. All these are very important to us. But once we go beyond this, then we are free from the Nirdva. Then what is the meaning? Niryoga Kshema Atmava. Niryoga means free from Yogasana. That's what I told you. Right now we are always thinking, calculating. Is it beneficial to me, not benefit? Is it good or bad? All these considerations are important now. But once you go beyond the three gunas, then Nityas Tattvastha, in pure state of spiritual existence. Just like a diseased person has no longer need to go to the doctor or take the medicine. Once you go beyond the three gunas, you don't need to exercise all these choices. Supposing you have not got into IIT, then immediately you have to start thinking about whether this college or that college or this discipline, everything. But once, let us say, you clear, then all that become irrelevant. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature, who Arjuna become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So basically, all these are not required. What is the advertisement company doing? They're trying to make you buy something which you don't even need. First, they start attracting you by saying what all it can give. Then they try to make you believe that it is required for you. And even if you don't have the money, they'll say, we'll get you the loan also, no problem. So somehow or other, they want to motivate you to grab it. If you fall into that trap, you are stuck here.
So it is continuing about what the Vedas are talking about. What are the objects of the Vedas? The three main gunas, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun, for which these topics will come later in Bhagavad Gita. Here, it is just being introduced and it is being told to Arjuna that he should rise above these, because whatever we are doing, we are in one of the three modes and we are dancing as per the modes. So what Arjuna is being told, if he rise above these, only then he will become all dualities and from all anxieties. That is the gist of the show.
So instead of studying all the scriptures, one Bhagavad Gita is sufficient. So that is also an important message. You study too many books also, you become confused. And if you try to do too many actions also, it become unproductive. And if you try to follow too many guides also, guidance also is going to lead you to trouble. So therefore, we should know exactly what we are supposed to do. And that we need that guidance of scriptures, the spiritual master, and the saintly people. So this is the message of this verse. Last verse for today. So this is a complement to the previous verse. So how by doing one activity, all other activities will be fulfilled. Yavartha udapanye sarvada samputodake sarvada samputodake Avan sarveshu vedeshu Avan sarveshu vedeshu Ramanasya vijanatah Ramanasya vijanatah Vanartha udadhane Sarvata samputodake Avan sarveshu vedeshu So, there are examples given. In the villages previously, there used to be many wells. One well is used for only for drinking water. One well they used for only taking baths and cleaning. And another well they used for some other purpose. The cooking purpose or washing purpose and all these different purposes. But let us say you have a pond. So different sides of the pond, only one pond is there. Instead of having many wells, they make one pond. And different sides of the pond you use for different. Maybe on the north side of the pond you use for this purpose. East, west, south, like that you can also do. So that is the Vedas saying. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. What is the purpose behind the Vedas? If you know that, the other things will fall in place. The purpose of the Vedas is to understand the Brahmanasya Vijanatah. So, to know the Brahman. Brahman means to know the self. That is the purpose of the Vedas. So, we can know about ourselves when we know what is our relationship with God, other living entities, and material nature. So whatever activities we do, ultimately it helps us to understand us better. Otherwise, what is the gain? If you do everything else and you are not satisfied, you are not pleased by that action, you feel suicidal. Why did I waste my time, energy, and money? Because ultimately I am not happy. So we should do activities which ultimately has to make us happy. Only when we become happy can we make others happy. Even if you say my aim in life is to make others happy, unless your stomach is filled, how can you make others feed someone else? So this has to be understood. So Vedas ultimately are trying to help us to understand ourselves so that we can benefit everyone else.
In this shloka, Vedas are again mentioned. That is why we have done this as a group of shlokas today, so that the entire topic is explained properly. Here, the Gita firstly, the topic of Vedas has been mentioned. And in the earlier shlokas, we saw the flowery language of Vedas and what is possible if one gets caught in the flowery language of Vedas. One of the things was populace, and the other was good work, that kind of thing. Here it is said that if you understand the purpose of Vedas, for that person, all the purposes of the Vedas will be served one who knows the purpose behind them. So the purpose behind it is also explained as devotional service. So we also mentioned that devotional service is not very glamorous that you can wear as a badge. But if you understand the purpose, and understand that devotional service is the ultimate and actually start practicing it, what happens is the other purposes, which are, offering this for good work, for this, it is not going to give up. It will come. But we don't get attached to it. And that is not our purpose. But that does not mean that by choosing devotional service, we have necessarily said no to all of the others. We have not said no. We have only chosen devotional service. The others will come depending on the situation. If Krishna thinks, because when we do devotional service, we surrender more and more. So if Krishna thinks that by giving us that position, he will benefit spiritually, he will give it to us. If he thinks that we will not benefit spiritually, he will not give it to us. Or sometimes he will put us test for us to understand our own position. Because in my opinion, we are going to go. How very good. But how do we want to be in the standard that somebody else can be better than me, somebody else can be, better human being, better human. How do I understand where I am? Unless I understand that, I will not improve myself. So we are continuously going to test this kind of thing. We will be, if we get something which is the other purposes of Vedas, we are getting it so that we are able to test ourselves and we can improve. But the ultimate focus is that to be resilient.
Okay, one important point here is mentioned that the purpose of the Vedas, Krishna himself says in the 15th chapter. That is, Vedas Sarve, Ahmedi Vedya, Vedanta Veda Vidyevachaham, Sarvasya Vidhisan Nivishtu, Mattasmita Jnanam Kohanamcha. So, what Krishna is saying is the purpose of the Vedas is to ultimately know him, because he is the one who compiled the Vedas, and through knowing the Vedas, we know what is the relationship with God and what we are supposed to do. So the purpose of Vedas is to know God. The way to know God is to chant the Lord's names. The easiest way to know God, even the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. From Omkara, all the Vedas knowledge is revealed through chanting Omkara. But since Omkara chanting requires high qualification and we don't have that, Krishna says, at least you chant my names. Kali Yuga, by chanting the names, all knowledge is revealed. And so the purpose of the Vedas is better understood by chanting the names of Lord. So we will chant 108 times the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sorry, if you have any comments, questions, please free to ask. Yeah. Two people.
My question is on the basis of two incidents happened in Mahabharata. One was when Krishna stated that this all the people, all the people who found whether said as in already killed by you, you are just for the name. And the second incident was at the end of Bhagavad, when Nanda was Krishna, and they went to Bhagavad, and Bhagavad told that he has seen only Krishna on both the side. Krishna was the one who believed, Krishna was the one who died. Krishna is the return. We don't know about the second incident. But the question which I want to ask you, do you feel that whatever we are doing is done like, or let us say, I have been here, it is due to the God?
Yeah, in one sense, all the things that are happening is sanctioned by God. But the problem is, he is happy by whatever happened because it is going as per his plan only. Like you can say the Mahabharata war is the plan of the Lord, that they will be killed with all plan of the Lord. So definitely he is going to be happy because his plan will work. And his plan, he has designed the plan so that he will be happy. The problem is we are not happy. So why is it like that? So therefore Krishna is supposing the institute has made something. But their objective is for your benefit only. And let us assume you are not getting benefit out of it. Then it is the responsibility of the institute to ensure that you get the benefit of it. Although it is designed for your benefit, supposing the electricity department is supplying you current. The intention is so that you will benefit by that current supply. But let us say you go and touch the wrong wires and do something and you get electrocuted or something happens, then you are going to lose. So Krishna's plan will definitely satisfy him and it is ultimately for our benefit only. But it is possible that although he is doing it for our benefit, sometimes it may hurt us. So therefore Krishna is giving us options to reorient ourselves. Like even before the war happened, Krishna came to Karna and told him that you have the choice. That why don't you shift side? There's nothing wrong because you belong to this family and without knowing that you belong to the Pandava family, due to providence, somehow you went to the other side. And in that process, you did so many mistakes, no problem. I am still willing to take you back, not for that the Pandavas will win, but because it is beneficial for you. So this Bhagavad Gita's knowledge is being told to us that yes, whether you exercise your choice or not, God plan will work, providence will work. But if it is not going to give you happiness, as an intelligent person, you can change providence. There are some examples. One person was there. He went to the astrologer and he said, "You're the dullest person because your Buddhi Rekha is not there." So that person said, "How is it? I can't accept it." And he, with a knife, he cut and made one thing. I heard this. There's some famous person, I think. He became very intelligent after that. So destiny is there. Whether you accept or not, it will work. But intelligent person can change destiny also if you follow this Bhagavad Gita. The other part you said that Krishna himself getting killed, I don't think that's bona fide. What you said, of course, Krishna, see, why we say that Krishna is ultimately killed everyone, the battle, you say, because that's for the benefit. Otherwise, Krishna would not whimsically do that killing also. By killing those people who died, it is for their benefit. Otherwise, Krishna will not sanction killing arbitrarily.
So it is said that Bhagwan ki mercy and patta bhi nahi hilta. So how can we be here without this sanction? Now, how does he sanction? That is also explained in Bhagavad Gita later. He sanctions in the form of Paramatma, Krishna. He is the overseer and he is the sanction. Even if somebody is feeling some health has happened, and we can say, we typically say, Bhagwan aapne aisa kyun kiya? Why did this situation happen to me? God, you have only done it. The thing is that God has not done it. He has sanctioned the desire to hate. And why will he sanction? He allows us to make our mistakes. That is the limited freedom we have. And he gives us the meaning of life. So we learn from the mistakes. He has given us the intelligence to understand whether we are made a mistake or not. And he also gives us the teaching. So it is a matter of whatever is happening, definitely it has the sanction of the Lord. But whether it is right or wrong, that is for us to decide based on our intelligence, based on our knowledge of scriptures, based on sadhu, based on guru. And the story of flowery, which you mentioned, that is, I can say in Bhagavad Gita also there is a shloka that says, Ahamkar Guna Artham Kartama Miti Manyate. That all of us think whatever I am thinking, I am doing. Whatever I have achieved, I have achieved. जब भगवान के मंदिर के अंदर फर्क नहीं होता, तब I की खुशी. It was basically in a sense that the Pandavas not get to pride that we have won, or because of me, because of Arjuna, the war was any of the individual Pandavas war was. Everything was with the sanction. And it was his Sudarshan Chakra, that is what Bhagavad song. That it was a Sudarshan Chakra which was being ordained. And Krishna had himself told Arjuna, I have already done everything. Nobody wants to first satisfaction. That also translated.
One other issue is that in Haikus 44 or 50 words, they are mentioned about the methods that define on this as backward also falls as well.
See, heaven is our definition. we call it heaven. So we call it hell. But Vaikuntha means where even you may be heaven, you may still be unhappy. There are many instances. Otherwise, why they? Because it is said that the demons attack the people in the heavenly planets, and they get the people when the heavenly planet when they die, they start crying, and when they cry, they come down as rain. So it is said that heaven is so-called heaven. Just like when people are trying to motivate you to buy something, they create the impression that that is the best. So like that, the concept of heaven and hell is our own creation in one sense. But Vaikuntha means it is different. You can rule over Vaikuntha, that's it. Even like a hellish planet, Bali Maharaja is in hell. But he is not in hell in one sense because the Lord is present as Vamana there with him. So the hellish condition doesn't affect him. Similarly, one person may be in heaven, but he may be suffering miserably because they get cursed or sometimes people attack from Hiranyakashipu. He was able to make Indra even his servant. Indra is the king of heaven, but he also became subservient. So that's why it is superficial, the so-called heaven and so-called hell. Therefore, Krishna says, which means you will be situated in the transcendental platform where it doesn't really matter whether you are in heaven or hell, because you have got the real happiness. The so-called happiness or so-called suffering will no longer affect you. I think we are short of time. So
it is not I have one question. The text would be by Krishna. Not aware of yourself or all the people. But in the later part of Bhagavad Gita, this kind of also the things that need to be effectively. So how
that's a very important chapter. It's one of the divisions of faith. Arjuna asked this question about what who do not follow the purpose of the Vedas. If you don't know the purpose of the Vedas, what will be the fate of such a person? That Krishna explains that if you don't know the purpose of the Vedas, you will be directed by your three modes. You will make your choices. The three modes will dictate you to make choices in the Vedas also. Supposing you are given an open book exam. Why the open book exam is given? The intelligent person knows what is the exact answer. If he is not intelligent, he will think something else is the answer because that is given in the book only. So like that, Vedas are giving so many directions, but they are telling what is the real purpose. But if a person doesn't know what is the purpose of Vedas, he will be motivated by the three modes to choose something which is convenient for him. Many times it happens. You choose the most convenient thing. Okay, this is so easy. Okay, I'll accept. But that's a trap. So that's what Krishna said that 17th chapter. That if you don't follow the scriptures properly, and basically you follow the scriptures according to your likes and dislikes, then the three modes will make you take the wrong choice. If you wear colored glass, supposing I'm wearing glasses, unfortunately this glass is in different colors. So I give you three different glasses, each one is different color, but what is the use? You have to remove the specs, then only you can get the real color. So unless you know the purpose of the Vedas properly, the Vedas in fact will mislead you because the three modes you are under the control of the three modes. Therefore, Krishna says you have to follow the scriptures properly, and purpose of scripture is to do devotion. That's what it says in the 18th chapter, perfection of renunciation. How to make the best use of this life, what to accept, what to reject. So that will be possible when you know how to follow the scriptures properly. Otherwise, you will be just like whoever came to the Mahabharata war. Everyone thought I'm doing the right thing. But only the right people were those who followed Krishna. Because he knows the purpose of this war and how to win this war. But because they had their own intentions and came to the war, everyone went defeated only. So that answer somewhat. It is one more question. It is that God is available. But in the Bhagavad Gita, God like he is knowledge of the knowledge of person and
fire or like this.
Okay, so God is everywhere, but everyone cannot find him everywhere. Because we are not so intelligent to see him everywhere. Just like Hiranyakashipu, he challenged his son Prahlada, I see everywhere, because he could not see him, whereas Prahlada could see. Therefore, for such people, Krishna says, if you cannot see me everywhere, at least you will see me here. Like the electricity wire is everywhere. Actually speaking, the cable is running concealed. I don't see it. But where if you ask me where it is, I will say one point is here. Although I can draw the power source everywhere, all along the route, there are some designated places where easily you can connect. So therefore, Krishna says that first he showed the he is everywhere definitely, but everyone cannot understand this point. So therefore, for them to reach out to such people, Krishna is giving these other options, where you can definitely not miss him. Even if you miss him everywhere, definitely you will find him here. So that is that. Okay. In shortage of time, we will not take it. Yeah. Okay.
I personally find everything they are saying like they discussed about and what other religions are teaching and here it feels like really the person to go beyond that. So what is that like we are really that part of the religion that still it will be there. But when you go beyond that, you want to basic that like whatever you are thinking, which are there in the heaven of. So what is there anything beyond that or we will get before beyond that?
There is very good. It's no good. That is no misery. So any form of misery. It is not good.
It is not right. Also,
आचार्य तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे कदम ले जहाँ कम भी न हो आंसू भी न है that's not the clear understood बस प्यार करें there they get fully free. If you go to Golo, it is only free, nothing else. The prayer can be in any of the 6 forms as a Rasya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, Shant Bhav, any of the Bhav, but it is only prayer. Vaikuntha, Kamkhinahu, Asubhita. And Vaikuntha will have 6 kinds of liberation, which is Sayogya, Sarogya, Samikya, Sarogya, and Sashti. Those are in Vaikuntha. There is nothing, nowhere there is any pain. It is only pleasure. Heaven is among the 14 category systems in the material world. We are talking about going beyond it.
Yes, yeah, the last question.
The person who is going to Vaikuntha, we are coming back.
So basically, whether this is heaven, hell, Vaikuntha, it depends on whom we reach. Because in Vaikuntha, what is the status of Vaikuntha? There are people who are free from all miseries. Because they are fully under the shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is also free from miseries. So heaven means what? There are people who are happy with some enjoyment, which they consider as the ultimate. There is always the case like there are some communities, they form some communities. According to them, that is the highest happiness. But it may not be true. So we need Vaikuntha means where there is definitely no anxiety. Because it is surrounded by people who don't have anxiety. And why they are happy? Because the Supreme Lord who is the Lord of Vaikuntha. So just like for Bali Maharaja, even though he was in Sutala Loka, which is actually hellish planet for others, it was in one sense a Vaikuntha for him, because the Vamana Deva is present with him. So in other words, even though we are in this world, it can be Vaikuntha or heaven or hell, depending on our consciousness. So ultimately, when Durvasa Muni, for example, even he went to Vaikuntha, but he was in great anxiety because he had offended Ambarish Maharaja. So he had to come back from Vaikuntha back to earth and meet again Ambarish Maharaj. So Vaikuntha is a state of consciousness. So that is possible when we follow the Vedas purpose properly and do devotional service. Chant this mantra 108 times. On each of the bead, you use your middle and thumb finger. Why we use the fingers? Two purposes. One is to count, and second thing is just like you're taking some medicine. You're told to take so many tablets. So likewise, we chant a certain number of rounds. It's always for our benefit. The next is among all the senses we have: seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, hearing. The sense of touch is the most distracting, and that's why we have to overcome this distraction by using this beads and holding on to the beads while chanting. We have to chant properly all the syllables, all the words of the mantra, and also hear attentively. Because we are doing it in a group, naturally people will be going a little fast and slow, and it can be distracting. So just to focus on what you are saying, then you cannot be distracted. Before we chant 108 times, we chant what is known as the Panchatattva mantra. We are praying to the Lord to help us chant this properly. So this Lord is coming in the form of 5 features to help us chant His name. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Vyavasayatmika Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Normally, it should take 6 to 7.5 minutes when you're feeling alone, but since we did in a group, it took nearly 10 more than that. So
You regulate your breathing, automatically this chanting speed you can increase. Once you increase the speed, the concentration also increases. So please, if you are interested, you can take these beats for a normal fee and chant in your rooms also. Otherwise also you can join us every Sunday for this chanting. Collect the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll do an arati on fee for 10 minutes. After that, we'll serve your dinner. Please be a little more patient. Thank all of you for coming. In case you have any more doubts and which are not answered, you can always feel free to talk to me separately or arrange. Yes.